At West Bloomfield Town Hall, some big accomplishments in the clerk's office on their budget. The West Bloomfield Township recently awarded by the Government Finance Officers Association their Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. And joining us now on the program to talk about it is one of the people that was really doing the legwork behind getting this award to West Bloomfield Township. Their budget and pension manager, Allison Broihier, joins us now on the Splash Live. Allison, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, glad to have you on. Congratulations on this award from the Government Finance Officers Association, the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. So tell us, about this award and a little bit about the process that you took to apply the township for this distinction.
Well, this is a very unique award. In order for a local government to receive this award, they have to meet certain criteria that the GFOA has set up, and we're really set up to help promote transparency to our stakeholders. It is a policy document that talks about what the government's policies are, a financial plan for the upcoming year, and an operations guide for how we're going to meet our goals for the year. What's really unique is of the 90,000 local governments in the United States, only 1,700 receive this award each year. And it really does take the teamwork of all of our departments and the elected officials to meet these criteria and their support in applying for the budget award from GFOA. But we're so thrilled that West Bloomfield Township has received this award for the first time.
And because it's such a rarity and because there are such stringent requirements that go into even qualifying for this distinction from the Government Finance Officers Association, what does that say about the work that you and that your team are doing as you're helping to craft this budget and really what the budget process is like for West Bloomfield Township?
Well, I think it really reflects that our staff and our board of trustees is really committed to the highest principles of budgeting and transparency to our residents and our stakeholders, and that we are using best practices really across the country in trying to put this document together and plan for not only the upcoming year, but for the future of West Bloomfield Township.
Joining us on the program, Allison Broihier, the Budget and Pension Manager at West Bloomfield Township, as they recently received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. It was announced last night at their West Bloomfield Township Board meeting that they received this, and you can find that on civiccentertv.com. Allison, you've mentioned a lot about transparency playing a key role in what is ultimately being distinguished from the GFOA in this award. So from the township's perspective, how does transparency play a role in not only the budget process, but the availability of that information after the fact?
Well, definitely having the budget on the website for our residents and stakeholders to see not only what goes into the budget process, but how they can play a role, provide input to their elected officials at our special budget meetings, at the public hearing we hold for the budget prior to adoption. And really, it's the Board of Trustees that are the policymakers and are adopting that financial plan for the township. So them as the voters are really the ones that are the decision makers.
And what's interesting, too, about these local municipal budgets is that they're pre-planned, sometimes usually several months before that year even starts. And as it goes through the year and you realize there are more needs in some areas than others, it is in some ways a living and breathing document that does then go back to the township board and does go back to the public in some capacity. So from your office's standpoint, how is the budget a year-long management project? How does that play into sort of your role at the township on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. Well, we are already in June starting our budget kickoff process for 2025, looking at our capital planning for the next 5 years, beginning in 2025 through 2029. But what we're also doing is looking at the 2024 budget. How are revenues coming in? How are we doing on our expenditures? We're always looking at any variances that we have or any anomalies that might require us to do a budget amendment. But it is a constant monitoring process so that we can ensure that if we need a budget amendment, that we go and get that authorization from the Board of Trustees so that we are not spending outside of what they have appropriated for us to use by each government activity.
And once again, West Bloomfield Township awarded the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. And Allison, before we let you go, I just want to go back to even just the process of applying for this distinguished award. Why even go for something like this? What does this ultimately mean for our township beyond just necessarily the rarity that a municipality gets awarded this?
What I always find most useful is the feedback. The document is actually peer reviewed by three other government finance professionals outside of the state of Michigan. And they are reviewing the document and seeing if it meets the criteria. And then they provide feedback and maybe some comments for ways to improve the document. So while we did a lot of work to meet those criteria, what I'm most excited about is implementing the comments from our reviewers to make the budget document an even better communication tool to tell our residents what we're doing now and what we're planning for the future.
Well, we congratulate you and you, the entire clerk's office, the treasurer's department, and all at West Bloomfield Town Hall that go into making our budgets each and every year and ultimately qualifying you for this distinguished honor from the Government Finance Officers Association. Allison, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for helping us spread the good news. Appreciate it.